Welcome everyone back to Eat Sleep Brief, and this week we're going to be taking a closer look at the PaxBellum Arid N24. Thanks for joining me on this week here on Eat Sleep Brief. Today we have the Arid N24 by PaxBellum. Now, if you guys remember following me on my JBJ journey, this is actually a reactor I was really considering back then. At that time, I couldn't afford it. I was just doing the DIY Kato reactors, which actually had really good results. One thing that's always drawn my attention here to the PaxBellum Arid N24 reactor is just how sleek, how nice they present in a reef tank. Generally speaking, reactors are something you want to hide in your reef tank. They're not something we're very proud of as far as how they look. Typically, they don't look very nice, so we try our best to hide them, right? The Arid N24 is a piece of equipment that I think we can all agree we wouldn't have, at least I wouldn't have any problem putting it next to my sump, next to my sand, and have it be viewable to anyone. One thing I've really learned, if there's anything I've learned in reef keeping, is nutrient export is one of the things that you do not want to skimp out, and it's one of the things you want to have ready now, so later you're not running like a headless chicken like I have in the past with my other tanks, trying to get these chemicals, this GFO, just a crazy amount of stuff to deal with, hair algae, and the issues that come with excess nutrients that obviously we're not exporting efficiently. If you guys watched any of my previous builds, you probably saw me considering to do either an algae scrubber. I also was considering a fuge, but then something hit me and I said, wait, I feel very comfortable with fuges. I love the benefits that come with them. Why not just go ahead and try out the Arid N24 to see if they're really worth the price that they sit at. I couldn't think of a better time to try this out on this build because I surely plan to add a lot of tangs, a lot of big fish in the system that are certainly going to eat a lot, poop a lot. Thus, we're going to have a great nutrient export in line. Before we do jump into it, I want to cover two things that you're probably asking yourself right now. Number one is you could probably make one of these on your own, right? And the honest truth is, yeah, you probably could. Number two, I know a lot of people, when it comes to the packs, they say, yeah, it's beautiful and all, but it costs a lot of money. Well, you got to realize you're paying for the fit and finish of a product that, myself being a DIY person, I couldn't even come half as nice as, I couldn't create something half as nice as this. And when it comes to making something your own, you got to realize there's a lot of stuff sometimes you have to R&D, such as lights, flow, there's just so many variables involved. When it comes to PaxBellum, they've done all the hard work for you. So all you do is you get this, hook it up, pretty much a plug and play setup. And personally, what's allowed myself to justify a product like this, at least in my reef tank, and take it from past experiences, I've had two previous tanks, which one mainly the JBJ, I never addressed nutrient export. I just was kind of on the fly. And I was like, yeah, I'll deal with it when I get there. Well, sadly, we got there a little bit sooner rather than later. And if you guys recall the videos, I was running around like a headless chicken trying to figure out GFO, dosing this phosphate remover, dosing no pocket. I mean, I was just adding so many things to the system, having to put it on dosers, having to change out the GFO, check the flow, make sure it's not getting, there were just so many things involved. Luckily now I've learned my lesson, and I'm here trying to help you learn a lesson for yourself. Is in nutrient export, I found you do not want to skimp out. And I'm not saying this exact product is for you. It may not be for you, but I'm trying to say is when it comes to nutrient export, make sure you don't skimp out, such as, let's say you're doing a refugium. Don't skimp out on the fuge light. Whatever route you go, make sure you go all out, because again, nutrient export is just one of those things that I consider very important. Generally speaking, when it comes to reactors are something I think we've come to know in the hobby as a piece of equipment that you don't show off. You know, there's nothing really to show off. They're typically not that nice, the reactors at least. And it's just, again, it's just something we throw in there. We, you know, when people come over, we're not like, oh, check out this reactor. But I will tell you something, the PaxBellum, the fit and finish on this thing, I personally wouldn't have any issue having this outside of the cabinet for everybody to see, because it's really that nice when it comes to craftsmanship. And I know a lot of you are going to be watching this video and you're going to want to know if this is something I've had good experience with, maybe I'd recommend it. And I'll be straight up honest with you guys. I've never ran this product. Obviously it's still sitting here. My tank isn't running yet, so I could give very little feedback on how good it is long term. What I can tell you with certainty, and I'm sure you can research this yourself, I've looked online, went on forums, checked out videos, and I've seen ton of success with it. So again, I wouldn't believe PaxBellum has been making this product for quite some time. If it was really a bad product, I don't think they'd still be producing it. So with that being said, this video, I really can't give a review as far as how it operates. It's mainly just unboxing it, showing you guys what's included and what you can expect if you were to get one of these for yourself. Once I do get this installed in the tank, I'll probably have a 3-month update, a 6-month update, and maybe even also a year update to give you guys a great idea of how good it works. More importantly, how good is it at exporting nutrients. I'll also probably have videos showing you guys how to maintain it, how to harvest your Kato, how to take it out, disassemble, replace a tube, whatever you need to do to maintain this product. I'll be making videos on that in the future. Without any further ado, I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk. I think you guys want to see a lot more of what's included. So I've already showed you the reactor. This is how it comes out of the box. Next, I'm going to show you the goodies and what's included inside. One of the first things you will see is the power supply. It's good to see that it's a Meanwell power supply. You know that thing's going to last. Next, you'll get the connectors. Actually, the quick, I call them quick connect and disconnect. I'm going to show you a little bit later exactly how this works, but you're going to be pretty happy to see that they actually include these and not just the barb. Total of 2 extra screws. I'm guessing this is if you either break or lose the ones already on it. Some synthetic grease. I'm going to guess, again, I'm not a big fan of reading manuals, but I'm going to guess this is for the O-rings that are on the connectors, as well as the main O-ring that's on the top, to make a really nice watertight seal and also to lubricate them. A lot of the people that I've seen have the most success with the PaxBellum are the ones that actually dose what's provided as far as the supplements. So you'll find a smaller bottle here with iron and manganese, obviously used for the Kato and its growth and for it to grow optimally, as well as nitrogen and molybdenum. Molybdenum is one that I'm not too aware of, so I can't really speak of. Nitrogen I know for sure will help it, but obviously I'm guessing they're including these because they found that you can grow Kato a lot quicker probably supplementing these into the tank. I won't get into any of the dosing and how much is recommended for your reef tank because it's pretty self-explanatory on the label itself. Going back to these connectors, again, I call them quick connects or disconnects. I'm not sure the exact term, but they're very interesting. So there's an O-ring here, and then you have the barb fitting on this end here. But also there's a mechanism, which I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but right there it's fully unlocked. And then when I push it forward, you can see it's fully locked, and it also crimps down to grab on this little latch here. So I'll demonstrate it with it on. So there it's unlocked position. Go down and then you'll see these latches close when I push down. See that? And it's fully locked. You cannot move it whatsoever. To unlock it, pull up. There you go. Super simple to remove it. So when it comes to doing maintenance, you can rest assured this can be very simple with these quick connects and disconnects. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering exactly how you get into this thing to do the maintenance, and that's fairly simple. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws on the very top. You don't have to completely remove this, just loosen them so the plate's able to rotate. Once you got that loosened, you rotate it, and then it should just very easily lift up out of the inside. Here you'll find the full internals. You got these little separation plates, which obviously keep the Kato inside. Also, you got these little, what do you want to call them, little stringers to kind of keep the Kato to grab on so they're not, going everywhere or even try to get force through the output. And last but not least is obviously the LEDs. They are protected by, I'm not sure if it's an acrylic piece, but they are inside. And that acrylic piece obviously allows for the Kato to receive the full light, but also leaves the LEDs nice and dry. You can see the whole LED bar here. You'll be happy to see, and one thing that really will catch your attention is a big old heat sink on the top. This is obviously meant to keep the LEDs nice and cool. I remember in the ones I DIY'd myself, one of the biggest things I didn't like is after a month or so, there's just so much heat generated from these small LEDs, no dissipation of heat. So ultimately what that does, it ends up killing the LED themselves, and slowly over time, you'll eventually end up killing all of them, because again, there's no way to get rid of the heat, as heat is one of the big enemies for these LED lights. With the LEDs fully powered up, you'll see mainly a lot of white and red LEDs. This is the optimum spectrum that PaxBellum has found to obviously grow Kato effectively in their reactors. Now, I know you guys already heard me in saying one of the main reasons I don't like to run refugiums, the light spill, light goes everywhere, you start growing algae, coralline, it just becomes a big mess or a lot of maintenance. One thing you're going to like here with the PaxBellum reactor, I'll insert it here into the reactor itself. You're going to be very happy to see that the very minimal lights, I mean look, my hand is near it, you can't even see my hand barely lit up, you can barely see it lit up here, and even on the top you get a little bit more. But the good thing is, as this Kato grows over time, it's going to fill in the top of the reactor, it's going to clump up. So eventually that light spill that you're getting, it's a little bit more pronounced on top, you won't see it. And it's not enough where I would worry, even if you did run this in a sump, for you to start growing algae everywhere. While we're on that topic, I know a lot of you may be asking, are you able to run these in sump? And yes, you can run them in a sump or out of a sump, obviously making sure you don't get the LED or the connections of it, obviously get it wet. So that's going to be it, guys, for this week's video. I can tell you that we're about this much closer to finally completing this build and getting all the piece of equipment. It's really narrowed down to lights, return pumps, and wave makers. That's really all we're waiting for to get this tank fully wet, start getting recycled, and getting ready to have some amazing coral and fish. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys found some useful information in here. I'm sure there's a few out there that have probably had your eye on a beautiful PaxBellum reactor. I can tell you that as far as the fit and finish and the quality, you will be absolutely happy with it. One thing that really drew my attention, and it keeps drawing my attention, just the CNC heatsink here on the top of the LEDs. It just gives it that, I don't know, it just looks really nice, at least to me. So I can't wait to get this in the sump. That's another thing. I need to figure out if I'm going to run it inside the sump, run it outside the sump, run it next to the stand. I don't know. The good thing is I have a lot of options. Having such a big sump that I do have the Bash C Smart Series, I can run it inside, I can run it on the side cabinet, or even outside completely of the whole cabinet. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down in the comment box below. I will have a link to PaxBellum's website. As of the moment of this video, the website is being rebuilt, so you probably won't be able to use the link if you're watching this video, you know, maybe a week to a week and a half from now. I'm guessing within the next month or so, they should have the website back up. But of course, you can purchase this product at Unicorals. There's a few other vendors. And yeah, guys, that's going to be pretty much it. Be sure to leave me, again, your questions, comments, or concerns down below. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I earned your subscription, please be sure to subscribe. Also, remember, give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. It really helps me out. So that's going to conclude this week's episode. I thank each and every one of you very much for watching. As always, happy reefing. Man, I can't wait to get this thing in the tank. Yeah, this is nice.